a cat that thinks it's going to ride a horse, and a big welcome home for a hometown hero. So much to our panel, and thank you for tuning in. I'm Elizabeth Stanton. We'll see you next time on World's Funniest Animals.
Watch the season premiere of 61st Street, Monday, July 22nd on the CW.
Now at 10, President Biden in the spotlight holding a high-stakes press conference as pressure intensifies for him to step aside in the race for the presidency.
Plus, only on 5, a serial sniper is targeting pedestrians along the same stretch of a road in Ventura, leaving them with some painful wounds. We'll talk to 3 of those victims who describe what happened.
And remembering the innocent victims of the deadly 4th of July stabbing attack, a beach community still in shock over the loss of 2 men during a senseless rampage. Now on the news at 10. Good evening, I'm Cher Calvin.
And I'm Rick Chambers. Micah has the night off. We begin with breaking news in Sherman Oaks, where a fire broke out tonight at Notre Dame High School.
Gil Labus overhead in Sky 5 with more. Gil?
Well, Sharon, Rick, this fire breaking out around 9:30 this evening. As you see, fire department on scene here. The fire was on the 2nd floor of the school here, one of the buildings here. Let's go to some video that was shot from the ground when the fire first broke out. There was a lot of smoke and fire showing when the fire department arrived here. They quickly put it out within about 15 minutes, and they found that it was a roofing operation that started yesterday. Some roofers were putting down some modified torch down roof material using a roofing torch, and somehow that sparked the fire this tonight. As you see, as I come over to the left, you see some roofing material here on the ground, and fire department quickly knocked down that fire right now. They have moderate damage to the building right now, but LA City Fire doing a quick job to knock down those flames. That's the latest overhead up in Sky 5. I'll send it back to you in the studio.
All right, Gil, we thank you for that. In other news, and during a critically important press conference today, President Biden forcefully pushed back against any idea that he's no longer fit to serve.
The president defiantly told reporters he had a job to finish on behalf of the American people and was the best person to beat Donald Trump. But his arguments for another 4 years in the White House were undercut by alarming verbal gaffes and more questions about his fitness. Tonight, there is word his advisors are trying to determine how to convince him to end his campaign.
Let's go to John Fanolio. He joins us in the studio tonight with more on the growing pressure now on the president. John?
Sure, Rick. This was a high-stakes press conference, President Biden's first in 8 months. It was unscripted and ran almost an hour. The president answered 11 questions about his age and fitness to serve. He slammed Donald Trump, and despite mounting pressure, he repeated his vow to stay in the race, saying he is the best person to get the job done.
Thank you. Please be seated.
Facing growing concerns about his age and ability to beat Donald Trump in November, President Biden taking tough questions from reporters as his campaign hangs in the balance.
I think I'm the most qualified person to run for president. I beat him once, and I will beat him again.
Defiant at times, even leaning into the podium, the president firing back at questions about his fitness and diminishing poll numbers.
There are at least 5 presidents running or incumbent presidents who had lower numbers than I have now.
The president has been in damage control mode since his dismal debate performance late last month, with a small but growing number of Democratic lawmakers and donors calling on him to withdraw from the race.
We must win this election. It is an existential threat to have Donald Trump in the White House again, and Joe Biden has to address and allay concerns so as to win this election.
Democratic senators meeting in private with members of the Biden campaign Wednesday, while the president closed out the NATO summit with world leaders, where he stumbled while speaking. Biden mistakenly introduced Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky as President Putin before quickly correcting himself. Then, at the press conference, he misspoke again, accidentally calling Vice President Harris Vice President Trump.
Look, I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president, but I think she's not qualified to be president.
Not amazing and not terrible.
Loyola law professor Jessica Levinson says, despite a few flubs, the president demonstrated command and control, especially when discussing foreign policy.
He did have his gaffes. He did have lots of pauses. He is somebody who cannot